Morgan here with winterwarfare.com, where it's not enough to take the initiative, you must exploit the enemy. And so in today's video, I have a new product we're going to roll out, this tactical snow sled. But really the conversation is about this. It's about taking you and your team to the next level. Today's conversation is about having the gear and equipment to operate 24/7 in any environment, any season. I think that'd be a smart thing to do, and that is the next level. If you look at any acronym, MET-T, COCA, one of the very first things that I'm always going to do, I'm not just looking at myself. We don't live in a world where we live in a vacuum where it's only my capabilities, only what I'm going to do. I must also consider the enemy's capabilities, the enemy's goals, the enemy's mission, the enemy's equipment that they have as well. And in that manner, if you aren't capable to operate 24/7 in any environment, you're setting yourself up to, number one, be taken advantage of, I guess you could say. You are going to be exploited by the enemy who will have those capabilities. For example, if I don't have winter gear, and my enemy has winter gear, and I'm an enemy commander, I'm going to take advantage of you not having the right equipment. So let's get into talking about this sled. This is a brand new product that we're rolling out. This is going to be under the Calder brand name, and Calder is going to be a brand name that I'm setting up just to operate a couple items that I plan on exclusively making and selling on the winterwarfare.com page. Calder is an old Norse name, and I really love that stuff. I love history, and I love looking back at our ancestors, and in particular, our brothers from the north. So Calder will be the brand name that we're operating under. So let's talk about this. It's a flexible, roll-up, tactical sled, snow sled, and I'm going to be able to put all my gear on this. I'm going to, let me back up a step. What I'm going to be able to put on here is we're going to have two different sizes of these sleds, and I'm going to get into a couple things with the sled here in just a minute. We're going to have a bigger version, which is this one. This is 60 inches long by 20 inches wide, and then we'll have a smaller one, which is about half the size. The smaller one will be 30 inches long by 12 inches wide. It'll essentially just be a one-man. My intention for this longer, bigger one, and again, we'll be making these right here in Idaho, right in my hometown. We're in the Western Rockies today. We got I don't know what you want to say, we're kind of getting into we're still in the early winter, but got a pretty wet snow today. And so we'll be making these sleds right here in our area in Idaho. You can put some Idaho guys to work. My buddy James will be making these. So my goal with the longer sled is simply, not every guy will need a sled. If you're going to go with this option, I could put two giant rucks on here, and I'm going to break this thing down and we'll walk around it here in a minute. The smaller sled would just be a one-man. And so increasing your capabilities, if you are going to be out and it's winter, and we've talked about this before, winter is something you have to address in a tactical situation. You have to. If you're going to be out, you need the sustainment gear. Also, when I'm moving today, I just have my snowshoes on, and I just came out to test this. I'm not actually out overnighting in the woods or anything like that. But whether I have my cross-country skis, my touring skis, or my snowshoes, I don't want to sweat a lot, right? And so if I'm carrying my ruck, I'm going to get pretty sweaty. I might not be able to carry all the gear that I need. I could put a stove on this. I could put ammo cans on this, my ruck on this. I'm going to break it down, and I'll kind of show you what I got on here, and we'll talk about it for a second. So one of the items that we do sell is these camo netting. This is 9x20 camo net. We also have basically a 9x7, a smaller one. This might be an option that you want to do, because I'm going to tell you real quick, something that you can do with these sleds is you can pre-stage your gear. For example, maybe you have an advanced party team, or maybe you have some type of track capabilities. So you have a side-by-side with track, you have a snow machine. You essentially could tow this with one of those and tow out all the gear to a staging area, or to a forward operating base or something like that, where you might be operating that way. The line soldiers, on their way out there, they're essentially just carrying their load-bearing gear, maybe on the way out there. So let's break this thing down and let's kind of look at what's going on. Oh, so again, with the camo netting, if I was going to just drop this off and stage it, I could very easily hide this thing right off somewhere, and it's going to work pretty good like that. And so the camo netting is just something to consider. Again, we do sell that on our website. So let's kind of break this thing down and look what we got going on here. Okay, for today's video, I just kind of dummy rigged this. This isn't my, perfect setup that I'm actually going to set up like this. What I would probably do is put my poncho over this, zip my poncho down, and then if I needed to, put the camo netting over that. But this is just a little intro video that we wanted to make. I just wanted to show you the space available in here. Essentially, you could put 2 big rucks. This is my big Elber stock ruck that I have, my duffel bag with my sleeping bag and all my base layers and everything that I need in there. I could get ammo cans in here. I could get a cooking stove put in here. And I've drugged this thing across the ice this morning, or across the snow this morning. It is pulling just fine. So let me get this gear out of here. And we'll just kind of take a quick look. This is strapped down, so we'll just leave that there. Another option too could be a medevac sked. Essentially, I don't know, I'm 6'2", and I could definitely fit in this thing if I had to, if it was an emergency. So let's just kind of do a quick walk around. So what this is the material, and I have a couple little props here to show you. So the material is, this is an industrial strength plastic, and that's what the sled is. It's called UHMW, and it's a 16th inch. This stuff is almost nearly indestructible. They use it, it's an industrial purpose plastic, and it's very sleddy, I guess you could say. So that's what the material that we're dealing with. Again, we're talking about scraping this over rocks. We're talking about just running this thing on the bare ground without any snow, and this thing's going to do just fine. Okay, so let's take a close-up look. So we have the 1-inch nylon strap that weaves through there. That's going to give a little bit of support, but also I'm using that for my tie downs. We have these nice stainless steel grommets in here, and essentially what I could do is I'm going to weave this through, and in the very back I can untie this, because the cool thing about this whole system is it's going to roll up, it's going to flatten out and roll up, and so it's going to come with 2 quick release buckles, so that you can essentially just untie it right here in the back. This whole thing loosens up. We're going to take off the carabiner pull bar up front, and boom, you could roll this up and put it right on top of your ruck. It'll be, I don't know, however many inches wide. It's going to be 30 some inches wide, 36 inches wide. So we do account for a little bit, I don't know, about 7 inches on the side, 7 or 8 inches on the back, and I think about 10-ish inches on the front, just to keep the snow out. So that'll be one cool feature of this thing. It's you could take it down or leave it out. I don't know how many guys would be taking it down, but it is a definite possibility for maybe for logistics purposes. So again, hey, if you are in the 11th Airborne up in Alaska, this might be something that you might want to consider too. You could break this down pretty quickly and put it on a bird, for example, for logistics. So let's talk about the front really quick. So the front setup, there you have a couple different options. This is what we came up with. We have a couple pull holes, and what this will come with is 2 carabiners, and the your toe strap. This isn't the actual toe strap, okay? This is just, we're just demoing it today. If you want an actual pull harness, there's some companies on Amazon, there's some other ski companies that make an actual belt harness that you could easily loop in and click into your carabiner to pull this thing. The turnbuckle here, what we have this turnbuckle for is, it's not going to come with a turnbuckle, but what we have up front is an 18-inch turnbuckle. And the reason why we have that set up locked into the carabiners is on a very heavy pull, it keeps the front from kind of like pulling forward, I guess you could say. It locks the front from going too far. So if that's an issue for you, you can find an 18-inch turnbuckle. They don't cost very much, and strap that in if you're not pulling a very heavy load. And by heavy, I mean we're talking 150, 200 pounds. I would think that the max pull on this, I don't know, I'm just guessing. I mean, it could be like 600 pounds or something like that. I don't think I'd want to pull that much. But I'm just saying, like, the material is capable of that. So I think you could easily, let's just take a couple rucks. I mean, very typically your ruck could weigh 100 pounds. You get 200-pound rucks in here. You get a stove in here, maybe some other sustainment gear. You could easily be up to 300 pounds, 350 pounds, and this is going to pull that just fine. If you're going to go heavier than that, or maybe pull it with a machine, that's where I would get this turnbuckle. And the turnbuckle is I, and this again is an 18-inch, and we just clicked it into the carabiners. The carabiners will be provided to pull.
We got close to 400 pounds in this sled right now, pulling uphill, and it is pulling like a dream.
Now, another option guys have too is I'm not sure what the actual name of them is. It's like the hard pull. So for example, if I'm snowshoeing downhill or skiing downhill, you might want a hard pull, and there's a couple companies that make that. We're just not going to get into that. We're just providing the sled. You get the nylon strap, everything you see here except for the turnbuckle. There's some hard pulls that you could actually get. Another option that you could do to support the back if you're going to do a downhill situation is you could just tie off on the back and have a second guy in the back supporting it downhill. So there's a couple of options for that. And then in addition, one more option, there's a couple companies, you could easily Google these. Just Google sled pull bar, something like that, and you'll see there's some pull bars. I mean, we're talking 60, 70 bucks. They're already made, they're metal. You could just reconfigure this and use that pull bar to pull with a machine or something too. So there's a couple different options. So I think what we're looking at is $300 for the big sled and $200 for the small one. Again, these will be made right here in Idaho. We're putting Idaho guys to work, which is something that I like to do. I'm always looking for opportunities like that. And that's about all I have on the sled. So maybe this is an option for you. And you might see this up on our website as well. And so thank you very much for your time. Again, Morgan with Winter Warfare. Again, we're talking about the Calder tactical roll-up flex sled. So that's all I got. Morgan out.